Next News, breaking news.
Breaking tonight, the Department of Homeland Security is back open. President Trump has signed the funding bill, and the Democrats just got steamrolled in a fight they thought they could weaponize. After 76 days of shutdown chaos, the agencies that defend the homeland are back on track. And the biggest piece of it all is this: ICE and Border Patrol funding is moving forward without Democrats holding the country hostage. That means the pressure point they tried to use against law enforcement just collapsed. So why were Democrats so desperate to block this in the first place? And what does Trump's victory mean for the border deportations and the next phase of enforcement? Well, this matters to every family because DHS is not an abstract Washington acronym. It's border security, airport screening, immigration enforcement, counterterror protection, Coast Guard readiness, and the people standing between your community and total disorder. For 76 days, patriotic DHS employees kept showing up without a guaranteed paycheck, while Democrats played games with national security, and that's disgraceful. And it tells you everything about the priorities of the left. Now, look at what changed. Speaker Mike Johnson says the House Republicans passed the budget resolution, and secured the path for ICE and CBP to be funded for 3 years. That is operational stability for the agencies at the center of the border fight. Not a patch, not a delay tactic, a serious win. Now, politically, this is bigger than a bill. It shows that the Trump administration and Republican majorities are no longer negotiating from weakness. The old shutdown blackmail model just took a direct hit. Enforcement control, restoration, you see, that's the pattern. The country is watching it happen in real time. Now, as Washington tries to use panic as a weapon, there is a financial lesson here every American should remember. You see, Noble Gold Investments gets it. Wall Street doesn't lose money on sell-offs, you do. They create the panic, wait for you to dump your position out of fear and scoop it up at a discount. The big banks aren't selling their gold, they're buying yours. And every time the headlines scream, regular people sell. Every time regular people sell, the institutions are right there waiting with open hands. You built portfolio insurance for a reason. Don't let a red day hand it over to the people who caused it. That's why I tell people to check out Noble Gold Investments. Visit nextnewsgold.com today, and you can learn how to protect your savings and qualify for a free 10th ounce American Gold Eagle while you do it. Now back to the shutdown fight that Democrats just lost, and why this defeat could reshape the border battle moving forward. See, here's the twist the corporate media does not want to emphasize. This was not just a reopening. It was a power transfer. Nick Sordor reported President Trump signed the legislation reopening DHS while ICE and border funding moves through reconciliation with 0 Democrat votes required. Let me tell you that again, 0. The left just lost its favorite veto point, and even Congressman Chip Roy, who objected to parts of the Senate bill, warned Democrats they have now set a precedent. 2 can play this game, and Republicans intend to use it. Let's take a look here. Here's the president in the Oval Office.
Democrats essentially want to defund the police, just so you know. They want to defund law enforcement. It's crazy. These people have gone crazy. I heard Hakeem Jeffries, a low IQ person. He's a very low IQ, screaming today that the Supreme Court is illegitimate. I mean, that's a dangerous statement. Then if I say something modest, they say, oh, he's a king, he's a king. They're sick. But Hakeem Jeffries said the Supreme Court is illegitimate. That's a rough statement. If I made that statement, it would be the biggest story out there. Bad things would happen. Yeah.
Bad things would happen. President Trump says Democrats are not just attacking him, they're trying to kneecap law enforcement itself. Now here's Speaker Mike Johnson laying out the result.
Afternoon, everybody. Despite unrelenting predictions from many of you today in the press that we would fail this week, we did exactly the opposite. I'm really glad to tell you that House Republicans pulled together and delivered some major pieces of legislation and huge priorities for the country in the last few days. Let me give you a couple of examples. We passed the Farm Bill, as you know, a major achievement, delivering real relief and certainty for our rural America and for all Americans. This is the first time Congress has done that since 2018. It's been quite a while, but we got it done. We've also made certain that the House is going to be able to have an up or down vote on a date certain on the E-15 issue, which is, is a big priority for a lot of our members here in the chamber. And most importantly of all the things we got done this week, we got the budget resolution passed. This is very, very important because that will ensure that border security and immigration enforcement will continue today and well into the future, despite Democrat attempts to reopen our borders and protect criminal illegal aliens from removal. The net result of passing our reconciliation bill is that ICE and CBP are funded for 3 years, and Democrats got absolutely nothing for their political charade and shenanigans out of that. We repeatedly offered in good faith, I want to point out, remind everybody to negotiate on funding these agencies, but ultimately the sad and actually shocking truth is there's not a Democrat in the House or the Senate that believes border security and immigration enforcement should exist at all. By word and deed, Democrats have made clear their desire to defund both of those critical functions of our government. We also passed the FISA reauthorization to ensure that the administration is armed with the best possible intelligence to continue eliminating terrorists and defending our homeland.
So Johnson says the press predicted failure, but Republicans delivered. Democrats lost their shutdown stunt. Next, watch the moment DHS officially reopened as Trump signs the legislation. Reconciliation path cuts Democrats out of the vote count. Here it is.
Amendment. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair, 2/3 being in the affirmative, the rules are suspended. The House recedes from the House amendment to the Senate amendment, and the Senate amendment is agreed to. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
And that's all she wrote. It was, of course, the procedural finish line, and the big headline is simple: DHS back open, and Democrats were boxed in. Now, Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen drives it home, thanking the patriotic DHS workforce and making clear ICE and CBP funding moves without Democrat games. After 76 days, he says, the longest government shutdown is over. DHS, ICE, CBP will be funded through reconciliation with no Democrat votes. The liberals can't play games with federal law enforcement funding. So he's calling the shutdown what it is, a Democrat sabotage. Fetterman, interesting, admits the shutdown was unnecessary and says Congress failed. Fetterman posting DHS employees unpaid, 1,000 plus TSA agents quit, 0 ICE reforms, nation less safe. As the only Democrat who wanted common sense ICE reforms but always refused to shut the agency down, this was unnecessary and a failure of Congress. Even a Democrat now conceding this mess was unnecessary and left the country less safe. Now here's Congressman Chip Roy explaining why conservatives were furious with the Senate bill as written and warns Democrats they may have sent a precedent.
Do it the right way, and it's Democrats that are setting the precedent for taking out ICE and Border Patrol out of the Homeland Security funding. And by the way, 2 can play at that game. So they're setting a precedent for how this is going to play out from now on. If we want to fund government by reconciliation, then we're welcome to do it. That's what Democrats are doing. Talk to Harry Reid about how the filibuster worked out for him on judges.
Chip, what's your message to those ICE agents who see this?
So Roy says the Democrats tried to carve ICE and Border Patrol out of funding. He's warning the game cuts both ways. And now Secretary Mullen comes back with a direct message to the ICE patriots who kept defending the homeland without the guaranteed paycheck.
All right, guys, as you know, I haven't quit smiling since getting this great opportunity to be Secretary of Department of Homeland. But yesterday, like a whole weight was lifted off my chest. Yes, after 76 days of this Democrat radical shutdown, finally we are open. Now, we never shut down, but they were expecting all the employees through all 22 agencies that fall underneath DHS to basically work for free and somehow still deliver the mission on protecting the homeland. I want to take this opportunity to thank every single one of the employees that showed up every single day and delivered on their mission, regardless if Congress was refusing to pay our bills. We are here, well, to do one thing: protect your backyard like we protect my backyard. Regardless of your blue state, regardless of your red state, we have the privilege of protecting all the homeland, from the Coast Guard in our waters to even ICE on our streets, going after the criminals that are harassing and terrorizing some of our neighborhoods. The truth is, regardless of what you think about Department of Homeland, we're still out there protecting you every day when you're headed to work or when you're at home asleep. And I feel like I had the best job in the world. So thank you. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
Amen. Ugh, man, what a mess that was, wasn't it? Now here's the aha moment. See, Democrats try to turn Homeland Security into leverage. but they ended up proving President Trump right. He said Democrats essentially want to defund the police and law enforcement, and look at the facts. They were willing to let DHS workers go unpaid, let TSA staffing suffer, and strip ICE and Border Patrol out of the fight. Even Fetterman admitted the shutdown was unnecessary and a failure of Congress and made the nation less safe. So that's not Republican spin. That's their own side confessing the damage. So what does it really mean? It means the Trump administration now has reopened DHS, a path to lock in border enforcement, and a green light to ramp up deportations and interior enforcement without begging the left for permission. So the bottom line, Trump won this fight and Democrats were exposed, and the American people just got a clear preview of what strong government looks like under America First leadership. DHS is open, the shutdown is over, ICE and Border Patrol are being positioned for long-term funding, and the message to the country is simple. Law enforcement's back, border security is back, and the days of caving to anti-enforcement radicals are over. To the DHS employees who kept serving for 76 days without a guaranteed paycheck, you are the patriots, and this country sees you. Now I want to hear from you. Do you support wrapping up deportations and fully funding ICE and Border Patrol, yes or no? Comment below and share this report everywhere, and subscribe if you're done with the corporate media blackout. And text that number on the screen. Text raw feed to 844-840-4963 so the algorithm cannot bury these updates. And check out the Next News merch shelf below this video. America is being secured again, one victory at a time.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now. You know out.